Good
Cool.
afternoon, folks. You know what day it is. It is Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Lisa with a Z podcast. And today I have a great show for you. Very informative. I have a performance and rehab coach, Dr. Richard Mack, here in the Lisa with a Z show. And today we're going to talk about recovery. We're going to talk about condition and rehab and what the importance of this during your training or whatever kind of sport you're in. It is very important to just get that rest in. So, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for coming today.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I couldn't pass up the opportunity of having someone on the show to educate people on this subject because it is important. Honestly, I know for sure me, I deal with my own type of injuries, and hopefully, I'll get to work with you and seeing what I can do differently so I can recover correctly to be able to train better. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a physical therapist by profession, but I have been a performance and rehab coach since about last year. I launched the MMA doc, okay, and it's just a completely virtual, like digital business, and it's just been doing really well. So I just been really spreading the word about proper rehab and performance programming, strength and conditioning, slash recovery for combat athletes and martial artists. And the message has been growing. It's just been really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing it grow even more.
Yeah, I see that like you have good tips on Instagram because I follow you on Instagram
Yeah.
and just a lot of educational tips to be able to perform correctly with in whatever sport. So definitely MMA is your main bread and butter there. So I mean, how can we avoid strains during like how do we avoid injuries?
So injuries is always a part of a martial artist or combat athlete's life. You're always going to get your bumps and bruises. But the thing is, there's a difference between avoidable injuries and contact injuries, right? Because hey, listen, you bang knees or whatever, or someone like cranked an arm bar, it's hard to avoid something like that. So you will get an injury like that. But there are also avoidable injuries. Let's say, that nagging shoulder injury when you're just punching a lot, or all of a sudden your knee or ankle or whatever calf starts acting up when you're just training a lot. And that's what we kind of call the quote unquote overuse injuries or avoidable injuries. And the key with that is that's where I come in. Generally, I have my combat athletes perform a strength and conditioning program because what happens is when you start doing all these training loads and you're working out and working out and working out, your body has to be able to kind of handle that load. So if you're
Right.
not doing any strength and conditioning or anything like that, all of a sudden your capacity to actually handle those loads become lower, and then all of a sudden your training load goes up higher, then you tend to get injured. So my
Right.
goal with that is like, hey, I want people to train smarter, not overtrain, and just feel stronger, and then also just stay on the mats by not going out all the time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, some people like to go that 0 to 100 and then, they end up regretting that decision later on.
A lot of them do.
like like those guys in the gyms that are just like overly dramatic with, dropping everything, the weights and all of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but actually, that's a very common thing. A lot of combat athletes that I work with, they are very accustomed to trashing themselves during training.
okay.
They're just, they're hitting pads or rolling really hard every day, sparring hard. And then when they think that, oh, I got to go do my conditioning and run, they're just trying to run as hard as possible. And they're usually trashed by Wednesday. And
Yeah.
there's training until Saturday, so they're just like crawling to get to Saturday, and that's when all this injuries and all the little patch up work comes in.
Right, right. What are your thoughts on the massage guns? Because I know a lot of people that's like very popular right now using the massage guns for like I guess recovery.
Yeah, it has its place, but the thing is, with recovery, there's just main things that you have to always like uh, tackle first. That so sleep is one of the most important things to handle with recovery, because when you get a lot of deep sleep, that actually releases hormones to repair your body from all those hard training sessions. So the thing is, if you're going all out and you're not, team no sleep, you're not really getting the gains, right? So once you get better sleep and you're tracking your sleep, that is one key. Another part is nutrition and hydration. Okay, a lot of combat athletes think like, oh well, I don't have to eat as much, or I can eat whatever I want. But the thing is, if you're eating the proper nutrition and nutrients, basically you're fueling your body to repair itself. So that helps your recovery. Okay. Massage does play a role at some point, but the thing is, that's like the lowest on the totem pole. Like you really have to kind of get the big components first before going to a massage gun. With a massage gun, the main issue is that I see a lot of combat athletes try to rehab themselves with a massage gun, and it's just not working.
Right.
They injure their shoulder and they just start blasting away. And, there's a reason why you're injured, and generally just blasting away at a painful muscle doesn't really do too much.
It's not going to heal correctly. So what about exercise? Like, let's say, just not like a pro athlete, because I know they go through like a strict training schedule, but somebody like me, a single mom, how often should I train a week? Or like, I want to prevent overtraining.
Yeah, so I would say even for a recreational martial artist, twice a week at least, just get a total body workout in, and really just kind of work through certain progressions just to make sure you're strong enough to just kind of handle all the training that you do. Conditioning is going to be very important as well. So, I mean, obviously some people just like recreationally do martial arts just to lose weight and get some cardio in. But the thing is, like, if you keep doing it and all of a sudden you're really pushing yourself to the max, and obviously you can get a little injured. So even just doing a little, like maybe 2 cardio sessions out of the week to just kind of get a general fitness in. So at least you can stay healthy just to enjoy training.
Wow. So you really don't need to do like 3, 4, 5 days a week. Your body can still be able to have that physical, how can I say it? Like it still will be, capacity during the week, just 2 times, which is great. Cause like I used to train like 5, 6 days out of the week sometimes.
Yeah.
But then I was getting those injuries, and I'm, over exhausting my body, which, I learned the hard way. But now, I'm starting to think a little smarter and educating myself as far as I need my rest days. It's so important.
And that's totally fine, because since you do enjoy martial arts, obviously that's your primary enjoyment, and I never stop people from doing that. But if you want to stay in your sport just for your enjoyment, obviously throw in some strength and conditioning in, so you're just not sidelined with an injury. I see a lot of martial artists that when they get injured, all of a sudden they're sidelined, and then they become really frustrated. Some people get depressed. It's a lot. Martial arts is a big substitute for mental health.
Absolutely,
so I see that a lot. Yeah. So the thing is, when they don't train, they just kind of go in this downward spiral. So my goal with recreational martial arts is just kind of give them the minimal amount, so they could just train and be happy.
I like it. Very good. I mean, should you have like a coach or a trainer like watch you during your workouts during like strength and conditioning?
Most people don't really need someone in front of them. Generally most trainers, they just kind of watch them, and after a little bit they understand the form. So most of my athletes, like, I could just coach them over video. They just send me like a video, and I was like, all right, you just need to fix this little component of your movement, and generally they figure it out for themselves. And to have a coach in front of you, it's a little too time consuming, because you have to match up times.
Right.
So I love it with my digital product that they can work out whenever they want. I just program their workouts, and then they do it. If they have a question, they shoot a video, send it to me. I'll just give a little tips, a little feedback, but then, it doesn't intrude on your life.
That's pretty good. Easy access for it. How do you help your clients recover with recovery and injuries?
With recovery, I do a lot of coaching on recovery, because I have quite a variety of martial artists that I work with. So some are recreational, some are amateurs, some are like serious amateurs that want to go pro, and I have pro as well.
Right.
So the ones that are training a lot, let's say they are fighters, I really have to watch over their training load because they want to train so much over the week to 2 days and stuff like that. And that's when I kind of have to look at how they're recovering, let's say like with a whoop or anything like that, or any health tracker. And then I can just tell them like, hey, this days you can push it, other days you can go a little lighter. Because if you push it all the time, you're probably going to get injured, overtrained, feel beat up. And my goal is for them to peak when they have to fight versus like feeling like they're beat up and they're crawling to
So
weigh-ins.
what do you think about the use of CBD products in like a diet or like as topicals for recovery?
I will say it's not harmful, but the thing is, like, speak to a lot of martial artists and combat athletes that rely on it too much, and they think like, "Oh man, I'm injured," and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing for your injury?" Like, "Oh, I'm slathering CBD on myself," and I'm like, "Okay, like, do you think it's a better way to do it?" And the thing is, with the CBD, like, it's generally short-term relief. It's similar like a massage gun or anything like that. It's just really just short-term relief. So
Right.
you really kind of have to address the root causes of that and what's going on. And generally, like with my coaching, I really kind of tackle the root causes of what's going on with your injury. So the same thing with recovery. Generally, a lot of martial artists or combat athletes, they tend to grab the CBD first before making sure their sleep is good, making sure their hydration and nutrition are good first. So
Gotcha.
there's a place for it
Right.
at some point, but you got to kind of tackle the big rocks first.
Right. Gotcha. Love it. I love that information. Really good to know. So where can people find your information, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Wi-Fi? Your no, just kidding.
People can always find me on Instagram, the MMA doc. Good friends with your friend Sean, awesome dude. So he always kind of shares my content, but I'm on there. You can always DM me, reach out to me. I always post some stuff. Uh, sometimes like it's a little polarizing at times. Like I get on follows because I'll just say like, listen, stop taping your injury and blasting it with a massage gun, and they don't want to hear that. But
Right.
the ones that do resonate with it, they're doing amazing. I have one chronically injured like athlete where she had back pain, neck pain like for years. And the thing was like I really just taught her how to rehab herself. And she went from chronically injured combat athlete to now a regular athlete. And now she just wants to get her fights in. So
Nice.
yeah, the thing is like when you deal with an injury for a long time, like it messes with your head. You
It
start second
does.
guessing about throwing stuff or pushing it. And for someone to say I feel like an athlete now instead of an injured athlete, that's an awesome win for me.
Okay. Now what kind of services do you provide other than the digital virtual coaching?
I kind of keep everything digital because it
Okay.
just fits my lifestyle. I like to be able to travel wherever I want, you know, pandemic permitting. But
Yeah.
I can travel wherever I want and still get athletes the same results. It's like,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't really need to put my hands on someone to get them to improve. I just teach them how to improve themselves.
Well, I look forward to testing this theory out because I have definitely a couple of injuries we can work on.
Yeah, it's I like it because now the responsibility is on you. It's not on me. I
Right.
show you the way, and it's really up to you to do it. And thankfully, I have a number of people that are just motivated. Like, I just want to get back to training. I don't want to spend time going to go get a massage or something. They're like,
Right.
I'd rather just go train. And so I teach them. They rehab themselves. They back to training.
See, this is so easy. Like, this is so much easier for me because for me, definitely, I have no time to go out and get a massage.
Yeah.
I work, I try to train. I'm here doing the podcast as well. And
Mhm.
it is a lot of things going on with the COVID and stuff. So I'm here, I'm in my house.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you so much for coming on the show today. Definitely learned a lot. I will tag all your information in your Instagram.
Oh,
So
thank
guys,
you.
go follow him. He has really great tips. I will
Yeah.
be sharing some stuff on my story and on my page regarding
Cool.
any kind of MMA doctor tips
Cool.
and about recovery and rehabilitation.
Oh, and I just want to add that I do have a free training pipeline worksheet. Okay. Because, like you said, busy, right? Everyone is busy. They're busy with their lives. So, that training pipeline worksheet, it really kind of breaks down the main components of what you need to address before a competition. Because, obviously your skills training is only part of it. There's your strength and conditioning, how you recover, how you eat, how you manage your injuries. And basically, once you have all those in balance, you will get the most out of your training. Because if you don't take care of that, all of a sudden you get these leaks. And then obviously you don't put your best foot forward in the ring or the octagon or in the mats.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mack, for coming on the show today. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Lisa with a Z podcast. We are out.